There's another way that I can use sharps and flats within a piece of music as well. And to show you that, let's start with this piece of music that we have from the previous example. So suppose I want all of the Fs in this piece of music to be F sharp. One way I could do that is just go through measure by measure and put the sharp symbol in front of the first F in every measure. So let me do that. So here's an F sharp here. I made that F into an F sharp. That's going to hold for this F on the third beat as well of that measure. I go to the next measure, and that's going to reset all of my sharps and flats. So I'm going to have to put another sharp symbol in front of this F. And just for the fun of it, let's keep this melody going for a while and add a bunch of F sharps in here. So let's do an F sharp here. And then let's do it in the other octave. Let's do an F sharp here. And just to be safe, I'm going to write that F sharp above, that sharp symbol in front of the F on the octave above. Then that will carry through here. And let's write one more measure, just to give us a few more F sharps. And then let's do it's not the most exciting melody in the world, but this will give us a lot of F sharps. There we go. And so we'll put a sharp symbol in front of this F. And there we go. And that will carry through for the two Fs. So that's one way I could do it. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. But there's another way that I could do it as well. And that is to use what is called a key signature. And a key signature is basically a shortcut, a way to tell a performer, hey, all of this particular note is going to be altered in some way. For instance, if I go over here, the key signature is always going to happen between the treble clef, or between the clef and the key and the time signature. So right in this space right here. Suppose I put an F sharp right here. That's right on the F line, that top F line. That is going to tell the performer, okay, make all the Fs in this piece of music into an F sharp, unless you're told to do otherwise. That means that I don't actually have to go through all the trouble of writing out the sharp. If I have a piece that has a lot of F sharps in it, I don't have to go through all of the trouble of writing in all those F sharps. I can get rid of them, or if I'm writing it in the beginning, I don't have to write them in the first place. And especially if I'm writing this out by hand, this is going to save me a lot of time and take a lot of clutter, visual clutter, out of the music. This shortcut tells me everything I need to know. The only thing is that we need to restart or reset that key signature at the beginning of every staff system. So if I'm going on to the next line, to the next staff system, I'm going to recopy that key signature right here, just as a reminder. Once in a while, in some kinds of music, in jazz or lead sheets, sometimes you'll see only the key signature in the very, very first staff, and then it's just assumed for the rest of them. Let's not get into that habit in this class, though. Let's get in the habit of making sure that every line has a key signature. You can do this with flats as well. You can add various flats into the key signature. So, for instance, if I did something like this, and say I added a B flat and an E flat, I'm going going to do that down here. That would mean that all of the B flats and all of the E flats in this piece of music are now going to be, or all the Bs and all the Es are now going to be B flats and E flats. So that's a very quick introduction to the key signature, to this shortcut method of adding sharps and flats into a piece of music. We're going to come back to key signatures in an upcoming video because there's a lot more that we need to learn, and we're going to take a more sophisticated look at it. But just to get us sort of started reading music that has key signatures and getting familiar with music that has key signatures, that should be enough to get us going.